Interesting that Claude was talking about the basic unity principles. Who knows the 5 basic unity principles off the top of their head? Some do, some don't. Well, I'm going to be talking about them today in relation to my talk, Letting Go. That's the theme this month. Our theme is Letting Go, and letting go of my stinking thinking. Who wants to let go of their stinking thinking? All hands raised. Of course, who doesn't want to let go of their stinking thinking? And I've been on this spiritual path for 30 years now, and it's taken me almost that long to figure it out. To figure out what is stinking thinking. So I'm going to give you a definition, my definition of stinking thinking, and that is any thought you think that makes you not feel good or that makes you feel bad. That's a stinking thinking thought. And we don't need it. Yes, that's right, Heather. Yay! I agree. We don't need them. And in fact, we're in the middle of Lent right now, and we have this booklet, Release and Reimagine. And there are some up front, they're free. Grab one. It's pretty cool. We set up a 40-day challenge, so a bunch of us are reading each lesson each day. The first day is release, we let go of something, and the next day we reimagine what we could put in its place. And that's what we're doing. And it's actually a lot of fun. But that's what we're doing all the time. And what I'm asking you to release is not the truth, but that which is not true. And anything you're thinking that doesn't make you feel good is actually not true. You're just misinterpreting. You're misperceiving. And that's why these basic principles are so important. First one, there is only one presence and one power active as the universe and as my life, God the good. And you can change the word God to universal intelligence, Buddha, Muhammad, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. It's that Christ consciousness, that higher consciousness that is always good, always loving, always kind. And this is our foundation. If you're not standing in this truth, it's easy to get lost in your stinking thinking. So let's just switch this around a bit and say that first principle is really about, is the universe for you or against you? It's for you, right? The universe wants you to be happy. The universe wants you to be joyful, to be playful. It does. It wants you to live. How do I know? Take a breath. Right now, just take a breath. That's the universe. That's universal energy giving you life. Without that breath, you would have no life. And yet, do you bargain for it? Do you buy it? Do you trade good deeds for it? No. Whether you're good, whether you're bad, whether you're asleep or whether you're awake, it's always there, providing for you, giving you life. That life force is flowing. And it's not only that, your body's got 50 trillion cells, and they're all working. They're all chemical reactions happening every second of every moment of every day of your life. Are you doing that? No, right? Are you creating new cells in your body? Getting rid of old ones? That's the universe. So it's so important to have that first principle as a truth in your life. That means that no matter what happens in your life, it's always for you. It's not against you, or it's not happening to you. It's happening for you. And if you look at life that way, you'll find that there's less stinking thinking. And of course, the second principle, our essence is of God. Therefore, we too are inherently good. This God essence was fully expressed in Jesus the Christ. Jesus Christ wasn't his name when he walked the earth. The Christ was when he became enlightened. They added the Christ, the enlightened one, the Christed consciousness. And we all have that within us, that Christed consciousness, the good. And we just tapped into it this morning in our emanation of love. It's always present. It's always there. Close your eyes right now, this moment. Bring your awareness to your heart. And think of something that gives you joy. Think of an experience you've had in the last few minutes, in the last day, in the last 10 years. Playing with a puppy, holding a baby, hugging a friend, crying into someone's arms and having them hear you. Feel that. That goodness is always there, always present. And I talked about the Lent program, about release and reimagine. And that brings us to our third principle. We are co-creators with God, creating reality based through thoughts held in mind. We are literally creating our world based on what we're thinking. You understand that? But I said this talk is about letting go of stinking thinking. But what I've come to realize is the thoughts just keep coming anyway. I can't let them go. Who meditates? Who has thoughts when they're meditating, right? It isn't the idea of meditation is to let go, let God, get rid of all the stinking thinking. But it doesn't always work out, does it? That stinking thinking just pops in. And it might not even stinking thinking. It might be joyful thinking or wonderful thoughts. They're all imaginal. They're all imaginal. We're making it up. Do you remember I gave a talk in August of last year, and I had a big box, cardboard box, and I opened my talk by crawling into the cardboard box and being a little 4-year-old in the cardboard box. Using my imagination, remembering what it was like to be a child, using my imagination, my thinking, to turn that box into a plane, a pirate ship, a boat, rafting down the Amazon, doing great grand adventures, being the hero. I made it all up. But then once we get a certain age, our parents are telling us it's time to let go of childish things, right? Quit playing. That's not real. It's not anything but a cardboard box. That's it. And we took that for granted. And we came into the real world of what's actually happening. But guess what? We never left that imaginal world. We're making up stories every day of our lives using our thinking. Let's look at Donald Trump for a moment, shall we? What do you think about Donald Trump? Isn't he what a dynamic figure that people love him or they hate him, it seems. He's such a controversial figure that just divides everybody. And when I first heard that he was running for president, I laughed. I thought that was the funniest thing, like he would ever become president. Who would vote for Donald Trump? I had some very strong opinions about Donald Trump. I was not impressed with who he was and how he spoke and how he acted. And so he did run. And I thought, and then he started getting support. And I saw all these people out there loving him, the MAGA movement, make America great again. I couldn't believe it. And then he won. Oh my God. The world, as I know it, is done. We are lost. We've lost. This is terrible. Who would be crazy enough to elect someone like that as the American president, the most powerful man in the world? The sky was falling. I was not a happy camper. I had so many strong judgments about him. But then I started listening to the people that really liked him. And I thought, is there any truth to any of that? And then my brother said, I like Donald Trump. What? He says, I've been watching some of his interviews, especially with his family. There's so much love there. What? I couldn't believe it. And in fact, I didn't want to hear it. And this is what we do all the time. Once we get an idea in our heads, we don't want to hear anything that contradicts it. And so we just delete it or just, no. And we make up stories that, that's just stupid. No, and I got all kinds of good reasons why that isn't true. But it made me think. It made me think. And then I started listening to some of the things he was actually doing by people who had a good handle on it. And I thought, he's doing some good things. He's making some powerful changes in the world. And so then I started to like him. But then he'd do these crazy things again, and I'd go, it was crazy making. And then I've come to this place now where I realize he's just a cardboard box. He's whatever I think he is. And for me, in my life, that's the truth, just as it is for you. But it's imaginal. It's imaginal. And so I cannot get rid of what I think. But what I can do, the power that I have, is where I place my attention. Which thoughts I pay attention to and which thoughts I turn my attention away from. And I've been practicing this for many years, and it's starting to make a huge difference in my life. I'm almost never reactive anymore because something happens, I'm aware, I'm paying attention, which is not the same thing as thinking. Being aware is not thinking. Being aware is, let's just take a moment right now and become aware, become present here in the present moment. Become aware of your own body. You feel the weight of it in the chair. Become aware of your breath. You feel it moving in and out of your body. Become aware of how you're feeling. Are you relaxed? Are you tense? Are you anxious? Are you having some stinking thinking going on in your head at this moment? Are you having some happy thoughts in this moment? When we're here, now in this moment, when we're present, it's all good. It's all good. You're safe. You're breathing. You're alive. And now you can create. What am I going to give my attention to? That is the one thing I really want you to get from this talk. Where is your attention? Because where attention goes, energy follows. If you're giving your attention to your stinking thinking, guess what? You're going to suffer. But it's not what's happening out there that's making you suffer. It's not what your partner said. It's not the fact that you lost your job or the fact that Donald Trump got elected as the president of the United States. None of that's responsible for how you're feeling here, now, in this moment. Where you're putting attention is responsible. And whether or not you're believing what you're thinking. And what I've come to realize is that my thoughts are imaginal, so I just hold them. I hold them in mind, and I let time work itself out. Is Donald Trump good? Is Donald Trump bad? Time will tell. I think he's doing some wonderful things. I think it's changing the world. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. But it's so important for me. Through prayer and meditation, we align our heart mind with God. Denials and affirmations are tools we use. Denials or release or letting go. That's what denials are. Letting go of what's not true. And what's true? Whatever you believe is true. You're making up your truth every moment of every day. So what are you believing? That's what I'm asking you right now. What are you believing? And does it feel good? Does it feel good? Because if it doesn't, you're misperceiving. Shift your attention. Start thinking about something that does feel good. And I've been doing that, and with time, it's getting easier and easier. So earlier, in this past spring, someone slashed 2 of my tires on my van. I woke up in the morning, I went down to get my coffee at the 7-Eleven, I'm walking home, and the van's at a slant. I'm going, that's odd, it's slanted the wrong way. It's normally slanted a little bit like this because that's the way the road is. And I walk up to the van, and both tires on the driver's side are flat. And I go, well, that's odd. What's the chance of both tires getting flat? And then I looked closer, and I saw about a 1-inch gash on both tires. Oh. Can you believe it? Someone slashed my tires. And I reacted. But I was aware. I was present. I was present to what was going on. I was present to what I was feeling. I was present to the thoughts that came up. That jerk. I had some not very nice thoughts about whoever it was that slashed my tires. But you know what? For a year, we've been working on that meditation. I am committed to living in the love vibration. And that thought popped into my head. I am committed to living in the love vibration. Is who I'm being right now living in the love vibration? No. It certainly wasn't. It was not kind at all. All right, I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to write a story about it. I'm not going to make up a story about it. I'm not going to give it any meaning. What's happening right here, right now? I got 2 flat tires. Okay. So what do I do? Well, they're flat. I got to get them fixed, right? So I did. I bought 2 new tires, switched them out. And then a few weeks later, that was so painless, I got 2 more. And I got 4 brand new tires now, and they were bad. That person slashing those tires probably saved my life. My front tires were bad. If one of those front tires blew out while I was on the Deerfoot driving 100 kilometers an hour, that could have been bad. And so I could have said, oh, this is a terrible thing, and oh, no, it's so bad. I'd just be making it up, just imagination. But I chose not to. I said, no, I'm gonna send love to that person. I'm going to actually choose to live in the love vibration here. Which brings us to the 5th principle. Through thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truth we know. I've had these ideas in my head for decades. I know they're true, but was I living them? No, because I had so much stinking thinking that I believed, that I gave my attention to over and over again for days and weeks and months. 20 years ago, if that had happened, I probably would have been upset about that for months. I would not have been able to let it go. I would have wanted to know who did it. I would have went out there searching. I got to find out who did this. This isn't fair. This isn't right. But I didn't do any of that. I just let it go. And I couldn't believe it. It changed. Within 3 days, I had brand new tires on the van. Within a couple of weeks, I had 4 brand new tires on the van. And every time I got in the van, I'd look at my tires and go, oh, that feels good. I got 4 brand new tires. And it just felt good all the time. I felt good all the way through that experience. I felt even better because I was able to let it go. In the past, I wouldn't have been able to. I would have been the victim, the poor, helpless victim. But I wasn't in that moment. I'm the master. I am free. I'm not the master of anything out there. I'm not the master of whether or not my tires stay inflated or not. I'm not the master of who gets elected to presidents. But I am the master of myself. I am the one who decides where I give my attention. I am the one who decides how I feel. Happiness is a choice. Joy is a choice. Love is just a choice. And we make that choice in each and every moment. So as you go about your days and weeks and months and years ahead, I want you to do just one thing. Pay attention. Pay attention. Not to what's going on out there, but what's going on in here. Because when you do, when you finally realize that you are the master, you are free. And so it is.